Alright, getting ready to start part 3 of the video series of the brown trout here. Today I'm going to be working on the fins. I've got the lines drawn out of the movement that I want already on this one. It's going to have a slight curve to it, but it'll also have some undulating movement on the back of the fin also. So let me get set up on the camera, and I'm going to be using my Fordham today with this big roughing ball to cut it out, to get it roughed out. So let me set this up. Okay, so you can kind of see how I'm starting to work the movement into it. I keep taking it down thinner and thinner till it matches the width of the tail in the back, till it matches this width. Like I say, it's going to have a kind of a curve to the back with just a little bit of a tail flip on the front here. So I need to keep going on this. Alright, I think I've got the got it roughed out pretty close to where I want it. I'm gonna use the Dremel to finish out the shape, the fine tuning the shape. Still needs to be thinned down some towards the base, and then it gets even thinner as I get down towards the tail. But like I say, I can do that. I think I have a little more control with the Dremel versus the Fordham. So I'm going to stop right there on that one and get started on the pelvic fins. So I need to draw. These are going to have just simple movement. I'm not going to do a lot of movement on these. Maybe just a slight outward flare to the end. So I'll draw those lines, center lines on for that. Like I say, they'll just have a little slight flare out, a little flare up towards the ends there. I don't know, I may make this one a little straighter, or maybe even slightly down, just to give it a little bit of difference. All right. There it is. see why I keep these together now, so it's like I got a grip to hang on to. Makes it a lot easier. And I'll do the same on these. I'm just going to take them down part way with this roughing bit, and then I'll finish them off with a Dremel with a smaller, finer bit. As it comes to the edge, I want it to curve up. Kind of curve up on the edge. And this one can be straight. Let's see, show side. Talking to myself here, so I want the show side to have a little bit of movement in it. So we'll make that one is. Alright. Get these started here. As you can see kind of how that flips up a little bit on the end there. It's got a little bit of a flip up there. The other one's going to be a little straighter, I think. Maybe a slight curvature. Alright, there's the pelvic fins, the pectoral fins. Alright, this will be the dorsal fin. And I want it to have a little bit of a kick out towards the end of the fin here, so, but I also want it to stay fairly straight down the center up here. So I'm gonna give it a slight S with a little bit of a kick out this way. So it'll have a back of it'll be kind of kicking out towards the show side. I don't know if I mentioned it or not in one of the other videos, but I got the shape of the fin, but I also leave these tabs on. These are what will go into the top of the fish, or into the body of the fish. So let's see here. Straight. So kick out that way. We'll start on this kick out first here. Alright, I've got all the fins done now. I've got them roughed out to the shape I want. Pretty much smoothed out as much as they need to be. And I can't believe I made such a rookie mistake on these dorsal fins and the anal fin, and cut with the wrong grain. like I say, I think I can, if I just be careful with it, I think I can put some super glue on it, kind of soak it in super glue, and that'll strengthen it up some. But now I'm getting ready to do, I'll draw in the fin rays with the pencil, and then I've got this little flat head bit, barrel bit, that I'll use to cut the rays in with. So I'm going to get that drawn on, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to burn the detail of the fin rays in with the wood burner now, and I've got this tip on here that's it's pretty sharp. It's like a knife edge here, and I've already got it set up on a scrap piece, so I know that it's burning right. But this is kind of a long, tedious process, so I won't do the whole thing. I'll just kind of show you how I start it, and then I'll finish it up off camera. So let's start up here on one of the rays here. So these come down and they split. Kind of like a little broom. Always reminded me of like a little broom. And then they split off again. And they actually split off again in there, but sometimes I don't put those in there because it just gets a little too crowded in there. So do this one next to it here, and I'll go on to the next one, show you. And then I'll follow the ray line up to the base of the tail, just to kind of help further define that ray structure in there. And they split off at a pretty consistent level across. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll go through here and I'll make a little point, just a little guide, to where I know I need to split them off at so that it's even all the way across. So I'll finish that one off camera. I'll show you this is the dorsal fin. Yeah, this is the dorsal fin. So I'll do the same thing on it. That first fin ray is pretty much a solid bone all the way to the end. But they still all split out like a little broom. Reminds me of a little broom handle, or broom shape. Sometimes on these I'll go through and draw them all the way to the end, but it gets real thin. And these are so close together, it's hard to keep them straight. So I just kind of guess at it with the burner. It's actually easier to do it with the wood burner than it is to draw them. But that's how it goes. So I'll do these pectoral fins here. these are so tight together, it's hard to do these on the end, so I just have to kind of take it real slow and easy. And it's harder to define that edge on these than it is the bigger fins, just because they're so close together. So anyway, I'll finish those offline. Oops, I burned through on that one. Got those a little thin, but it'll be all right. Once I paint it in gesso, it'll be fine. Also go in here on the gills and kind of give them a little bit of an outline, just to give them a little bit more definition, because the paint and the gesso will kind of cover some of them up, so this will just kind of help keep them separated a little bit during the gesso and painting process. The relief is really what defines it. So, all right. So on part 4, I will be mounting the fins to the body and probably starting to burn the scales. So appreciate y'all watching, and hope you'll tune in for part 4.